When I was making $17,000 a year, when I was a TV newscaster, interviewing the rich, the famous, the public figures, when I was climbing the corporate ladder, working 12 hours a day, barely even hitting $70,000 a year, I would wonder every time I read a book, every time I spoke to a successful person, every time I saw some sort of a piece of media of someone who had the millions, what is their secret? What do they do? And while certainly there's people who fell in it, who are born into the right family, someone who just got lucky, we know there's those people. But I can tell you with 100% certainty, there are many quiet millionaires and even billionaires that are so successful that you've not heard about. And now that I'm in that multi-millionaire status and I've been around a lot of these people, I can tell you there are absolute secrets that are gate kept. There's some weird stuff, and it's time to expose the secrets that no one else is really talking about. And also hearing the unsettling truths, some things that you need to hear. If a goal of yours is to amass more wealth, you need to hear these things. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships, and everything in between. I really should have started this by saying, on the 900th day of January 2025, this is literally the longest month I've ever experienced in my life. And I know I'm not the only one. I've seen lots of funny memes circling around on the interwebs, which is very validating, by the way. So I just want to validate you if you are feeling that way. This is the most bizarre and intense entry into 2025. But you know how I look at it? When you have such potent energies, even if they're painful, even if they're debilitating, even if they're throwing you sideways, when you have that kind of energy at work, that also means there's that a much recalibration occurring in the world of manifestation. I do feel that those of us who are experiencing a lot of stuff right now, we are being prepared, we are being primed, we are being prepped to do a timeline jump that we have never done in our lives before. And I have no reason to believe otherwise. In fact, I actually have proof. And this leads to the first thing about rich people's best kept secrets to success and what they really do. It starts with making a choice of choosing to believe in something, even when evidence right in front of you, your current experience, your current feelings, your current circumstance, seems like it's telling you the opposite story. Sure, we can feed into the narrative. I could sit here and say, this is wildness. I'm not experiencing the abundance I want to. I've had this betrayal happen. I got sidewhacked over here. We got the fires and all the destruction. And now they're all living in this area and then this heavy energy of everyone who has lost all their stuff. And then we've got the political climate and like all the stuff going on about that. I could sit here and choose, of course, to focus on that, fixate on that, vent about that, chew on that, overanalyze that. Or I could use my overthinking, overanalyzing brain to go, let's put that same energy into going, wait a second. Why else could all this be happening? Because this is insane. Whether it's a whole global thing occurring or it's just in your own life and it's so intense, there's always another side to look at it. Like in a court of law, right? There's two sides. There's two sides to every relationship. There's two sides to every court case. So at least give yourself that. Rich people make a choice to look at the side of the story that ends up benefiting them the most. So the side of the story in January is I'm being God driven. I am being recalibrated. I'm being primed for my biggest timeline jump in my life. And people are moving out of my life. Things are moving out of the way. I'm having to grow at a rapid rate and face some things about myself and habits I have and boundaries that I need to set that I've not been great about setting in my business and personally. And I am being, squozen to do it. And it's so painful. But I am choosing to believe it is the universe saying, hey, you made it very clear where you wanted to go this year. And we heard you. And you are actively manifesting. You're walking your walk, you're doing your thing. You're not just sitting back hoping and praying for it. And you have to also have faith and trust that all the stuff that doesn't feel good right now that's happening is actually happening for your greatest good, for your greatest up level. You do have to pull back the bow and arrow to spring ahead. You do. Even look at it like with sports players, right? With these professional athletes, they have to train, they have to rest, they have to do rehabilitation, they have to do all these things in order to prime themselves for being on season. So perhaps right now, in the longest month in history, this is simply your off season time. This is your recalibration time. And if your revenue is down in your business, your money life isn't where you're wanting it to be at, and that's hitting hard, and the clients aren't coming, and you're not getting the views, and you're not getting the engagement and the conversion online. I have an episode coming out this week, the second episode of this week, that's going to help you with that, by the way. If you're in that spot, I want you to remind yourself when you look at a stock market, I've never gotten a statement, a portfolio statement where it's always up, 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 up in the green. Like no one has in history except for like a Bernie Madoff who like did a Ponzi scheme and scammed everyone. Okay. It's literally not possible. There's ups, there's downs. You look at the overall average of what's going on. So this brings me to the second thing that I've noticed is a commonality among rich people that isn't really often talked about, or at least as blunt as I'm sharing it today in TIFF style fashion. Before I get into the second one, I want to let you know that my applications for my exclusive 2-month private business coaching program are open for a short period of time. I only take 4 private clients at a time at this level. It is the highest level way to work with me. And who is best for this level? When you've already tried doing a group program, you've tried a course over here, you've been doing all the things on your own and trying that to work, and nothing's really working. Nothing's getting you the bigger results that you want. You're seeing little trickling results there, and you want to speed up that process. You don't want to waste more time trying to figure it out. This is the program that would be perfect for you. It's like taking the private jet to the destination that you want to go to versus driving there. So we focus on customizing everything from your messaging to your offers to your pricing to how you show up on social to your branding. We look at the entire picture. I work with both new entrepreneurs and established entrepreneurs, but you guys can use the same application because we like keeping things easy over here. Okay. Because it does not have to be hard and it does not have to be difficult and it doesn't have to be draining in order for you to make a crap ton of money. So you can go to the application by swiping up. It's inside the show notes. It's here in the description on YouTube. It is not in my link in bio on my socials. Okay. So you're going to have to get it here. You can, of course, DM me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany if you have a question about it. But just please keep in mind, this is reserved for people who are like done, like you're at the fuck it point. Like, I've got to do this. I can't keep holding back. I have got to go all in on this, or I know I'm just going to keep spinning my wheels and ending up in the same spot. And we're not about that in 2025. Okay. And the other option that you have, if you're like not in that spot where you're like, all in and you're going to invest that level of money to work with me, you're going to invest that level of energy into your business to get the result, you have an option to come inside the Project Me Posse business and money coaching membership. Okay. Like that's $3.33 a day for weekly live group coaching. So no one else offers that. No one else would. It's insane. And that link you can sign up also just swiping up inside the show notes or go to projectmewithtiffany.com/Project Me Posse. The second gate kept secret of the rich. You have to believe that what you want and where you're going in your business, in your bank account, is absolutely happening and possible and inevitable as long as you take the steps, as long as you do the work and you invest your time, energy, and money and you show up consistently. And you have to choose to believe and have that faith, even when all the numbers are telling you the opposite. And like they're telling you the opposite, not for 1 week, not for 1 month, sometimes months. And you're starting to go into doubt and like, oh my God, this isn't working. And what if this doesn't work? And I've put all this time, energy, and money into it. And what's going to happen? You have to be in it for the long term and you have to have faith and belief in the long term. It's like relentless faith. And don't think for a second I'm in relentless faith just easily every day. What successful entrepreneurs do, the people who are making the coin, the 7, 8, 9, 10, and above figures, is that we manage this mind all day long. That is the priority. Everything stems from where we're at energetically. I barely slept last night. I had lots of stuff going on where I had to move things and drop things, and I didn't get to have like my normal routine. I didn't get to eat properly. My point is not in a great state. I could have easily fed into the narrative of, oh, I'm so tired today. I don't feel motivated. I'm going to put this off to the next day. I'm not going to do this and go down the whole path. But ask yourself this. If you know without a doubt that the goal that you are wanting to achieve financially in your business, whatever metrics that you look at that are important to you for success, that would actually be like life changing, lifestyle changing cash for you, if you knew that without a doubt you show up in relentless faith and get yourself there no matter what every single day and show up as the best that you can, and you borrow money to invest, you borrow time that you don't necessarily feel like you have, you borrow energy that you don't even feel like you have some days, you find some way to get your mind firing even when it's really not, and trust that your best on that day and in that moment is good enough. Wouldn't you do that if you knew for a fact that the life you're wanting to create, the business you're wanting to create, the freedom cash you're wanting to create, the legacy you're wanting to create, the people you're wanting to help, that all of this is sitting right there waiting for you? You just don't get to know the exact time. Now, you can alter the time, and that goes with the third thing: altering time, manipulating time. This is a real thing, and I am still learning it. I don't know if I'm a master at it yet. I've seen people have it at an even like more intricate, tuned in level. And so to me, they're masters. I'm probably at an expert level. Mine came from the fact that I'm not a type A person. I'm type C for chill. Like I'm relatively lazy. I'm a projector on human design. I'm an INFJ. I'm an Enneagram 6. I could keep going with all the different qualifiers, but you get my point. Like really don't want to have to work that much. Okay. I love what I do. I love serving you guys here. I love serving you in my programs. I love all of that. But I have another company that I run. I have other investments. And it's quite frankly a full time job to take care of my unwell mind and all the things that I do for my body. And I have lots of fun things I delight in doing. Like I love luxuriating. So I don't have that same wiring that you might see or assume a lot of successful people have. But I want you to know there's more than just me out there that are like that. They just might not be as much of like in the public eye. Okay. And I feel I owe it to you to tell you this. The reason that I have gotten so good at being an expert of manipulating time is because I want to have more time to do the things that I want to do, even if that means me sitting on a couch, eating white cheddar popcorn, staring in a corner of a wall for a while. I seem to find that activity quite enjoying sometimes. Now, some people would refer to that as dissociation, and I would agree. And sometimes I like a good dissociative moment. Shout out to my abusive childhood. So let me give you a little starter pack on time manipulation. And if you want an entire episode on it, you just let me know. You can reply to any of the emails I send out. Make sure you're in my secret posse email community. That's also in the show notes. It's free. Those emails are coming from me. And there is something very exciting going on right now with 3 days to make bank online in your business. I only do it once a year. It's my free 3 day live training. People are shook over this. This is not a sales fest. I deliver the goods. I teach this to corporations and I charge a minimum of $25,000 to teach it. And I'm doing it for free for my small business owners, for my entrepreneurs, so that you can get things in action and get things moving and start seeing that cash flowing and those clients coming in much faster. It's a form of me truly giving back and also building trust and good faith with those of you who might not like know me as well. Because when you have people come to something like that and they're going, "Oh my God, I can't believe she did that for free." Like, I learned more. This is what people say. Like, literally, we had 5,000 people last year. So you're going to want to make sure you grab your spot. It's live. So we do have a limited seating capacity due to technology constraints. So make sure you swipe up. This is also in my link in bio on TikTok and Instagram at Project Me with Tiffany, but it's at projectmewithtiffany.com/make bank. And my point in saying the emails is when you're in my secret posse email community, you get first dibs on seating, first dibs on offers that I have. Like, there's a lot of special extras that you get aside from very unique and personal content from me. So listen, go sign up for the damn thing. And 3 days to make bank, well, people freak out. And I'll get to that because that's another point that I have after this time thing. That's point number 4 of a business secret of the super rich. But let me finish up with our time manipulation. I want you to look almost like how nutritionists have you do a food diary of the day, which by the way, I refuse to do those ever, but I understand they have a good point. It's funny when you even take in your notes app, 8 to 9 did this, da 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 did this. You have to be really honest with yourself. And maybe it's something you do with a friend, or if you're in my posse membership, you can like do it with a posse member or post it in there, like to keep yourself accountable so you can see each other's. You'll see very quickly where your time is being wasted. Then you can also look at where do I need to tighten my boundaries on things. A lot of times, especially my fellow heart-based entrepreneurs, my empaths, we can end up feeling obligated or guilted into, or even have fear driving yeses come out of our mouths when we should really say no, or now's not a good time. And whatever you're feeding your attention to, whatever you're donating your time to, that is what's going to become the most abundant. You dedicate more time to your skin or doing a fitness routine, you're obviously going to get more abundance and results in that area. You dedicate time to something that actually has a negative return or a net neutral return, that doesn't sound very smart to me. So I always say if it's not an income generating or a joy generating activity, I'm out. Now, of course, we all have adulting activities we have to do, like going to the dentist that none of us really like. Okay. So I'm not counting that stuff. But in general, your chunks of time need to be focused on that. And that's where so many people who are struggling, you've had some success, but you're not at the level of success that you want to be. Like, you want to be stacking that cash and making money online and having your business thriving, and you're wanting to do all those things, is because you're putting your time in the wrong places because you're being a cheap ass with yourself and your business. You're telling yourself things like, well, I don't really have it in me to train someone or hire someone or deal with another person, so I'll just do it myself. I know how to do it and I can control it, so I'll do it myself. I don't want to spend that money right now, so I can figure it out myself. Let me tell you, if you went on the Shark Tank and told Mark Cuban that your income growth plan for 2025 is to do it yourself and figure it out yourself, what do you think the sharks would say back to you on that? That's insane, but it's something that we can all fall into. I fell into it in my first business until I paid the price. And maybe you haven't paid the big enough price yet. I promise you're paying one. You just might not even fully realize it because you are wasting so much of your time that if you learned which areas to focus in that are going to get you where you want, then you wouldn't have to do all these other tasks that are truly time wasting that you've convinced yourself in shiny object syndrome or by watching a coach or watching this other person in your industry that they're doing and you're making assumptions. And then you have so many balls in the air. And then if you have ADHD on top of it, now you're so overwhelmed to the point where you're paralyzed and now you're wasting more time. And before we know it, it's fucking May and you really haven't made that much progress. So, really getting honest about those areas that you play cheap, where you are spending your time and spend instead of spending your money. I need you to really hear me on that because that has been the thing that has cost me the most and made me the most money in my life is me making the mistake of I'm going to use my time, which is a non-refundable resource and we can't fucking make more of it. I'm going to use my time to do all these other tasks and figure things out and da 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 instead of investing money to get my time back. Rich people, without question, go, where can I spend my money to get to my goal faster, to make the money sooner, to get more clients, to launch the product, to have the thing, to reach my fitness goals, to improve my health, whatever it is? How can I and who can I spend money on in order for me to get that time back? And truly, what comes with time is energy. It's your time and energy back, which then impacts your like mental bandwidth. Now you've freed all of that up. And as long as you have like a clear, proven plan that you're following to get to the profits, now you have clean energy. You have high energy. You have intentional energy. You have creative energy to pour in to those select areas that are going to pay you back way more than the money you're spending on investing and helping people shave off time, whether that's in your personal life or professional life. You see what I'm saying? And it feels so opposite because if you're not sitting on a big pile of cash, I hear entrepreneurs go, well, once I have all the clients, once I'm making all the money, it's like that would be like me saying, once I get totally snatched and at least somewhat of where I want to be in my body, then I'll do Pilates. Then I'll sign up for the gym. Like, what? No, you go do these things to help you get to your results and your desired state and your transformation that you're craving faster. And it might require you to put in more effort. It might require you to put in money, and likely it does. It will require you to set some boundaries and move your schedule around and be disciplined. But it's also going to be the thing that gets you the result. So, where are you playing cheap? I always look for who I can pay and where I can spend to get me my time back or to get me to my goal faster. This is exactly what I do for you guys. Obviously, I do it for free in all of my free content, but that usually doesn't get people to follow through and show up. Okay. You need more than that, as do I, because I go off into never, never land. But this is why I pay for 3 coaches. This is why I go into programs. This is why I pay to have accountability in my workouts and in other areas of my life. Otherwise, so much time goes by procrastinating, fucking around, daydreaming, scrolling, that I lose all of that bandwidth and energy. And every single time, now, aside from a few times that I've been scammed, okay, no one's going to get away in business without being scammed or betrayed by people. Just fun fact. That'd be like saying you could escape this lifetime and not having that happen. So aside from those times when they've been like solid, legit, good investments, it has never not paid off. And even the ones that cost me actually gave me a lot because it was a lesson I needed to learn. It was like a wake up call. It was like a shocking and painful way to show me a glaring hole in my business or in my health or in a behavior or habit I was doing that I didn't realize how bad it was, or was gaslighting myself into it being not so bad and just putting up with it. So there's a lot of payoff in the painful moments too. So you finding a way, I will right now, my bank account, my business bank account, there is way more going out than coming in. I don't love that. Of course, I like it when it's the other way. But it's like that because I'm also investing a lot in gearing up for my big launch, which I do once a year for Selling with Soul, which is my signature program. Okay. So I'm doing a lot of gearing up. I'm putting a lot of money out there. I'm hiring new people. I'm putting the team together, the stuff in place for my businesses and for things in my personal life so that I am set up to where the results I want to get, the desired outcome I want, is not just possible, it's fucking happening. It's inevitable. And I just want to be clear, it's not like these things are comfortable with entrepreneurs that even have, they can have fucking billions in the bank. My original mentor that I've mentioned on the show quite a bit, especially early on, old school, but his net worth is 100 million. Okay. And so I very much know this person really, really well, all the sides. And I have met very big players that are billionaires as a result of this person, and also as a result of, some other people that I have acquaintances with or friends with or business stuff with. And I can tell you that they don't think twice about going in the negative, so to speak, like investment debt. Don't think twice about it because they know what the cost will be if they don't do it. You're going to either take way longer to get the return on your money or the goal that you want or the thing you want to do, or it's not going to happen at all. That's much worse. And when you make a choice, going back to an earlier point I made, that you have this relentless faith, this relentless belief in yourself, then why wouldn't you use a credit card? Why wouldn't you use PayPal credit? Why wouldn't you borrow the money? Why wouldn't you bring in extra money by temporarily, doing some things like walking dogs or, doing other organization things for people's houses or whatever you need to do in order to bring in the funds to help you, right? But you have to have a palate for discomfort. And this goes to my next one. And I'm going to have this be my final one. And you can let me know if you are loving this episode and you want more of these secrets, because I have more, honey. I've got some tea. All right. Like I've got some real weird shit. Not like illegal shit. Well, maybe some of it's borderline illegal. That if you want another episode, I need you to take a screenshot, share this in Instagram, Facebook stories, share this on TikTok, on YouTube. Also take a picture. Make sure you're subscribing at Project Me TV. I'll leave you with this. You have to have a built up muscle and be willing to keep strengthening that muscle so it doesn't atrophy, to have a palate for risk, and to have a tolerance for fear. Really building that up so that you normalize it. And it is a muscle. And if you don't continuously work it, then it atrophies and you have to build it back up again. And that is a more of waste of time and money. It's better to keep it up, which is why you're listening to this podcast, whether you realize it or not. That's why people stay in my posse membership for many years. This is why people make sure they like listen to certain shows, read certain books, have me as a coach. Like you're the people who you surround yourself with, taking in information, filling yourself with things that build that muscle of resilience, that I am scared shitless. I don't know if this is going to work. This might not work. This might be a flop. Oh my God, nothing seems to be working. I might lose everything, but I'm going to do it anyway. And really reminding yourself that fear is a big part of the game. If managing fear is, I would say, is the deal breaker of what makes people quit versus what makes people super successful. Being able to show up regardless, in spite of fear, in spite of doubt, in spite of what the numbers say and things not looking cute, being able to do that, investing before you have the pile of cash, taking the action, taking the jump in the ice cold water versus toe dipping, being able to do that. And when you do those things enough, then you start building an evidence bank of how that's paid off. That's why I can be so dogmatic. Wow, that's a really big word that I'm using. I feel like that was on like the SAT prep. But why I can be so dogmatic about this thing is because I have the evidence bank. I've worked with thousands of clients who have it. I have friends who have it. I regularly go through it. We get tested. And it's like, how much do you really want this, Tiffany? How much do you believe in yourself? How much do you know that this is all going to work out? And if you don't have that belief and that tolerance for fear and feeling it and normalizing it and doing the shit anyway, you'll end up playing too small to where you're not going to be taking enough action and doing enough things, like big things and big steps, for you to get the big results. Like people who don't have the success and you're spinning your wheels, it's like you're trying to get away with toe dipping and then getting the full jump in results. And believe me, I wish that worked. I would much rather toe dip too, but it doesn't. You're wasting thousands and thousands of dollars, in some cases, millions of dollars of time that you can't get back. Don't allow the feelings of fear to be your compass. I'm scared. Therefore, I'm going to go east, even though my core desires and the life I want and the success I want is west, because I feel fear. No, 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 no. You can acknowledge your feelings and state them. I'm scared shitless. By the way, I'm scared shitless a lot of the time, okay? Because I make big moves over here. This is why I big cash. So you are scared. And when I am scared, the abundant thing is I am scared and I'm forging through anyway. I am scared, and how can I get additional support? And what can I do to help support me through this fear? Not wait until the fear is gone to do the thing. The fear is never going to be gone. In fact, it's just going to get stronger. You can tell yourself the lie: once I have a certain amount of money, if I had this coming in, if I had a rich husband, if I was this skinny, if I had the best employees in the world, whatever, then I would do blank. No, your ego would just come up with some other barrier to entry and some other fear. So don't allow it to be your compass. Your compass is your faith and your belief and your true desire and determination that your manifestation, the thing that you want, is an exact match for you, is an inevitable match for you. It is absolutely happening because you believe that it's going to happen, and you show up and take the big actions, even when the current external evidence is showing you the contrary. You're showing up and you're doing it anyway, even if you look crazy to most people. Haven't you noticed really successful people, people who've helped a lot of people in the world, they are unwell in the mind? Truly. Elon Musk, whatever you want to think about him, okay, he's on the spectrum. He has Asperger's. He is unwell in the mind. He is crazy. And he is also crazy successful. I am unwell in the mind that I talk about all the time. My clients who are the most successful and have the most success in working with me, and this should be an episode by itself. They all fucking have ADHD. You guys are all overthinkers, overanalyzers. You may not be diagnosed with it, but you might have like complex PTSD like me or anxiety, and you have a lot of like ADHD traits. You procrastinate. You have shiny ball syndrome. You're multi-passionate. You want to do all the things and you don't know which thing to start with. And since you don't know which thing to start with, then you don't start with anything. And then you shame yourself for not starting with anything. And then you end up just spinning in place where you're so sick of yourself. And some of you are at a point where you're fucking sick and tired of that. And you're going to do whatever you need to do to take action on it because your life is on the line. Your livelihood is on the line. Your dreams are on the line. And you can feel this way. You don't have to be like broke and destitute to feel this way. When I started Project Me, I have an 8-figure agency. I didn't have to start Project Me, but I had to. I had this dream for this podcast. I had this dream for the Business and Sales Academy. I had this for 10 years. I had to. This was embarrassing to myself that I hadn't done it yet, and it had to happen, period, because I was experiencing so much pain from holding back, from resisting, from kicking the can down the road. And I was already an entrepreneur, and it wasn't money that was the excuse. I couldn't use that as an excuse. It was time for me to go to a completely different level of abundance in all areas of my life. And that doesn't just mean money, it means in helping people. And look at what happened. We've got a top podcast in 57 countries, helping millions heal, helping millions make money online, helping millions get out of their own way and starting businesses and growing businesses and working on their relationship with money, with themselves and their own self-worth. Look at what that cost me by waiting 10 years. Imagine if I came in when like the Amy Porterfields of the world. I give these motherfuckers credit. My coach too. Shout out Kara Alwell. She's an OG, man. She started with a blog. Started when those OGs started. Imagine where I would be today given the success I've had in this short of a time. And I'm not looking back or telling you to look back and like get stuck there, but it's a lesson and it was a promise I made to myself. I will never undervalue myself. I will never settle for okay. I will never get that complacent with my life and time because we only get one. We don't know how long we're here. And don't we want to live it big? And to live it big, it comes with fear. It comes with needing a lot of belief in yourself to even manage that fear. And it also comes with you needing help with all of it. And this is what these people do. So let me know if you want another Rich People's Best Kept Secrets, like Success Edition. And I'll get more into the weeds of some of like the more nuancy stuff, the weird stuff, the unique stuff that is like stranger than fiction kind of stuff. So if you love this episode, please take a screenshot, share it on Instagram and Facebook or on TikTok. Make sure you're subscribed to Project Me TV on YouTube. We're doing a major glow up over here. So I can't wait for you guys to experience it because you deserve the best, as do I. And remember, if you're one of those people, and I know you know who you are, who's listening, that's been like, I want to work with Tiffany at this level, but what if she's a gazillion dollars? And I don't know if I want to spend that money or, take money out of savings or da 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 da. You just have to come back to asking yourself, am I going to make a move that's going to change my entire life? Or am I going to continue to take toe dipping actions, expecting big things to change and big things to happen and big dollars to occur? And only you can answer that. But I've given you two options right now for me to show you the way. One is the most exclusive is the private jet, okay? And the other way is my Project Me Posse business coaching membership. That's group coaching membership with weekly live trainings for $3.33 a day. So it's like taking the car versus the jet. They both get you to the destination. One is significantly faster and easier and certainly more enjoyable. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you.